Hey, what's good, Westworld fans? This is the Confine Crew, and today we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 4, The Dissonance Theory. This is a very good episode. More of the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. You're starting to see how everything is working together now a little bit more. Still pretty confusing. Overall, enjoyed the episode. We broke it down to 9 moments that we're going to talk about. Let's go ahead and jump into moment number 1.
Bernard offers Dolores a chance to play a game known as the maze. Now, if you didn't need more confirmation that the maze does exist and that the man in black is just not on some crazy journey, we got it. The maze exists. And it's interesting because when he tells Dolores, he tells her if she finds her way through the maze at the end, she might be able to be set free. Something to think about. Does this mean that whoever completes the maze, if you are a host, that you will be allowed to be free?
Mave loses it. She's talking to her friend. She sees blood coming out of her eyes. She remembers laying on the ground, being shot in the side, people dead everywhere. I mean, imagine, you have this nightmare sometimes in real life, right? When you have a nightmare, you wake up, your heart's beating. It can affect your day. Like, you kind of be down and depressed a little bit because the dream seems so real. Now, imagine that the dream is actually reality. And in Maeve's case, she wakes up seeing a bunch of people that she knows bucket naked being thrown around in a glass box by people in monkey suits, right? That would mess you up. It would mess me up. So these flashbacks she's having, they're getting worse. They're getting stronger. She's remembering more and more. And then I actually like this. She goes upstairs and she starts to scribble on some paper, and then she draws, the guy she remembers seeing probably multiple times. And then she goes to put it in a floorboard, and then boom, lo and behold, she's got several of the pictures there that she had been drawing. This would be a freaky scenario if we didn't know what was actually going on. So I thought that was cool. She's starting to figure out more and more on her own.
We find out a little bit more information about William and Logan. They're having a conversation, and it appears that both William and Logan work for Delos Incorporated. You're like, who's Delos Incorporated? Well, Delos Incorporated is the company that owns this entire world. Okay, they're the ones in charge. They're the ones who are kind of running things, even though Ford is the man who probably really is in charge. He's the creator, but they're the stockholders, they're the board, they're the ones calling the shots, and it appears that they both work for them and are kind of on like a little vacation, if you will, or a rite of passage for William. As it turns out, it looks like he has just now joined the family, and it's going to be interesting to see what that means for them in the future.
Dolores meets a little girl at the well. If you realize it or not, this is Lawrence's daughter. It's the same little girl that the man in black talked to and gave him directions to the maze, right? So now Dolores has been activated because she asked this girl, where are you from? She's like, I'm from the same place. Don't you remember? Points to the maze. Then Arnold speaks up and tells her to remember. And then it's like, I'm starting to associate these quick flashbacks like that's her programming being downloaded into her brain. I'll talk more about this whole scenario in just a minute, I guess, later on, because it kind of goes to another point that we have. But ultimately, Dolores is now on the path to find the maid. She has entered that game.
The Man in Black had a really big episode. We got a little piece of information that maybe shows on who he is outside of this world, and that was when he was with the group still on his mission to find the maze. A guest came up to him and was like, hey, it's an honor to meet you and all this stuff. And he shut him down quick. He shut him down and was like, don't you talk to me. Basically, I don't want to talk to you. So it appears he does have a purpose and is a known person outside of Westworld. Very interesting for him. But what does that mean? Why is he in here? What is his goals moving forward? Besides finding the maze. Now, he does talk to Lawrence. And as he's talking to Lawrence, he tells Lawrence that he's here to set him free. Very interesting. He's here to set him free. Now, we already speculate that the maze means that when you complete it, that one of the hosts might be able to be set free. So is he trying to set them all free? Is he playing the game for that purpose? Now, he also mentions Arnold. We just learned about Arnold last episode, but we also realize now that the Man in Black does know who Arnold is and of his legacy. Now, a small detail that might have been missed, but I thought was really interesting, as the Man in Black is rescuing Hector and the awesomeness that unfolds. is when he uses the cigar, which is also a type of which is dynamite, to explode. It triggers back to the control room where it says the authorization for the use of explosives, and they give it. It's interesting that even when they do something like that, which seems like it would be part of it, they need authorization to do it. Of course, they get granted immediately. Still, something very interesting to think about is how much control they actually have over the people, even though they feel like they are in control.
The Maze and Ford's story seem to be the same thing. Let's go back to the Dolores situation here. The man in black goes to Lawrence's daughter. She tells him about the maze. He's playing a deeper level of the game. The girl now tells Dolores we're from the same place. I want to talk about this theory for a minute. Bernie has already allowed Dolores to be entered into this game, right? The man in black crosses over because now they're hunting for Wyatt, right? Well, Wyatt was programmed into Teddy's brain to give him a backstory. So we know that was created by Dr. Ford, and we also know that he's set on a quest, the man in black set on a quest from Arnold. So they're working in conjunction here. I don't know if this is like I was about to give a spoiler to the movie, but if you've ever seen Snowpiercer, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you've got your yin and your yang, and I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's talk about this maze for a second where she says this is where we're from. Is Arnold at the end of this maze? Is he kind of like the Wizard of Oz at the end, and then Dr. Ford is working in conjunction with him to kind of herd these people to him? You know, it's almost like they created this utopia, and then people come in and mess it up, so then they instituted a plan to wake up the host. But in order for them to wake up, they've had to find their way to Arnold, and then Arnold is then going to completely restore them to be alive. I'm not sure. It's very interesting. I like how this is coming together, but it looks like Ford and Arnold's plan is one and the same.
Teresa wants to go and have a conversation with Ford. The board is not happy. They want this new storyline, so she sits down with Ford, and Ford shows her that he is still the boss. Not only does he put them in a situation where he can stop everything, that he controls everyone around him. As he's destroying his world and building his world, he brings her to a place that she remembers as a child. And it's interesting, he has a moment where he says, you know, we know everything about our guest. We also know everything about our employees. Talking specifically to her, and then tells her not to hurt Bernard, meaning that he knows of their little relationship that's going on. Ford again shows that he is definitely the man in charge in a big way.
William and Logan, they found their bounty. They go in, they got the guy, they got him on the horseback. William just kind of shoots place up, and this goes back to, not William, I'm sorry, Logan shoots up the place, does his thing. And this goes back to what I said before. It is like, he's not really a bad A. He's just, he knows he can't be killed, and so he goes around and does this. So there's no finality to any of the characters yet. There's no sense of death whatsoever. Just the story and the intrigue of what's going on. What I find interesting is they go on, and Logan realizes that, your path, William, your path that you took us on has allowed us to stumble upon an Easter egg and then take us on one of the best rides in this park. And, you know, when you say Easter eggs, I automatically associate it with like a video game, and you get Easter eggs out of a video game. The Man in Black's playing a deeper level of the game. I'm curious to see where this Easter egg goes. I can't wait for the next episode to let's explore it a little bit further.
Mave has been searching for answers to what these things she's drawing. She keeps seeing these flashes, these images, and she's drawing these pictures. And then she sees this little Indian girl carrying a doll of the same character. She wants to know what it is. So she makes a deal with Hector. She knows that Hector has spent time with the Indians, so she makes a deal. He will give her answers, and she will give him the combination to the safe that he's programmed that he needs to get inside that safe. So they have a moment where she's giving him the combination, and he's telling her the things. And what we learn is that they believe it as a religion thing, and they believe that those people are what they call shades, people who travel between this world and the next, which is very interesting that almost the illusion of what these people are has created this almost religion among the host. Something that's very interesting to think about. But at the same time, she remembers being shot, and she feels the pain, and she kind of remembers that something happened there. So she talks to Hector, and she's trying to get Hector to stab her. All the while, they're coming to break down the door. She does end up stabbing herself and pulls out a slug from where she had been shot. They bust in. Cut. What a way to end. She's figured something out. Will she remember it?
Guys, that's the video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Again, Mondays, Walking Dead. It looks like Tuesdays are going to be now our Westworld video, so it's going to be coming out a day late. And Game of Thrones videos on Wednesdays. And hey, anything else we decide to throw up throughout the week is just a plus. So until next time, guys, we're out.